Hello, everyone, and welcome in. It's Aaron St. Dennis at FF Mad Scientist, joined today by Jesse Moeller at JMoeller05 and Jeremy Schulman at FF_Rebel. How's it going, guys?
It's good. Good. I got the power of the Grogu here, Seahawks Grogu, so we are ready to roll and hop on to our Thursday night show game. How y'all doing?
Yeah, man. Got the power of the hope the Patriots decide to lose this week so we can get a higher draft pick going. But that hasn't worked out lately, so we'll see.
Why do teams do this every year? Every year there's a team who's so far out of it. And they need to teach. I know they are against it in the NFL, but they need to teach a class on properly tanking. How hard is it? Who did it last year and screwed themselves? Was it Houston?
They got the second pick? Yeah, they lost the last.
It ended up working out anyway.
Last week, yeah.
They got CJ Stroud instead of Bryce Young, so I guess it worked out. But fuck,
yeah, like Washington at least Washington at least is doing it right. They've lost 6 in a row, so.
And then Denver, who's still technically in the playoffs, they've just said, fuck it, we're tanking, and they benched Russ, so that's crazy. Fun. I guess they're cutting him in March, apparently. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
he had 4 years left and $80 billion. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like he's going to double the most dead cap in NFL history. That's what he's going to do. And this is contract.
Wild.
And then they're still going to have to pay Sean Payton to suck. So
yeah, for years, man.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, if I was Russ, I'd be like, get me the hell out of there. Because the Sean Payton's berating him on the sideline. I'd be like, dude, our team sucks. What is your deal? Get out of here. But that's just me.
All right, I guess let's get into it. We have kind of looks to be a defensive game here to start off on Thursday Night Football. Although looking at this, I feel offended, not defensive. So we've got Jets, we've got Browns, we have Trevor Siemian against Joe Flacco. Fuck's sakes. Oh, I don't even know what to rank these. Flacco is still startable. I have him all the way down at 20 right now, although that's going to move up. Actually, he's 19, but it's going to move up because I still haven't taken Russell Wilson out. I think I'm going to move Flacco up as high as 17, but I want no part of this. And Siemian I have at 32, so yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. I have him at 17, with Flacco at 17. And it's strictly the matchup. The Jets are a terror on wide receivers, and we'll get into Cooper a bit, but it's rough. So I get it. Joe Flacco's been just absolutely been a god for Cleveland in that offense, but we might want to pump the brakes, and you can definitely bench him this week if you're worried about it because this matchup is horrific. On the flip side, I have Siemian at QB 30, and I'm just not even going to touch that one. Still might be the worst offense in the NFL. I trust Bryce Young more than I do this Siemian-led Jets offense, so no thank you.
Worst matchup for Joe Flacco, 4th worst matchup for Trevor Siemian. So I know there's actually one guy in my work league is going to be, he lost Herbert and he's streaming Flacco, and I don't love Flacco this week. I know a lot of people are going to have to ride with him. Well, it's kind of like my Amari Cooper. He got me here after last week, but I don't know if I really want to go back to him, but I don't want to play either of these quarterbacks unless I have to. How about you?
Yeah, there's no world you're playing Trevor Siemian. Just, you can probably let him rot on waivers. I mean, he's not the guy anywhere next year, even in Dynasty. I mean, just forget that completely, especially in championship week against the Cleveland Browns. Just avoid it at all costs. What are we doing? But Joe Flacco, listen, some people are going to be in a pinch. Some people are going to have to play him. You just can't expect him to do what he did last week. 2 weeks ago against Chicago, who's been a much improved defense. Flacco, he's the volume guy, right? So he's throwing the ball 44 times a game. And against Chicago, even though he threw 3 picks, he still threw for 374 yards, right? So he can probably get to 300 yards. He's done it 3 of his last 4 games. He can probably throw multiple touchdowns. It's possible. But, you're not getting a 30-point game. You're hoping for a 20-point game.
Word here out of, okay. Oh, side note, Chris Rodriguez placed on IR, but that's not what I was going to talk about. Word out of Ian Rappaport here is that Russell Wilson is being benched and let go because Sean Payton is upset that he's calling too many audibles and not running his offense the way Sean Payton wants it run. So that sounds like the most Russ thing ever. He's just decided, fuck it, I'm going to run it the way I want. So it looks like he's going to be on the free agent market because of it. So no surprise there. That report does not surprise me at all because that's pretty much Russell Wilson his entire life.
We had like back in October, they came to him. They said they wanted him to remove the injury designation on his contract so they could, move on from him in the future. He just told them no. Like, I'm not doing that for you guys. Like, all right, well, we're gonna bench you. And then I guess the NFLPA had to get involved. So just shows how high quality Sean Payton is with NFLPA and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's a fun one. Let me tell you what. And by the way,
Russell Wilson had his own fucking office in the building, not with the team, his own office. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Dude, well, no, but at the same time, like, you want me to bail you out of the crap contract you gave me? Sorry. Like, I don't blame Russ at all. As stupid as he is, he's not that stupid, right?
Exactly, right. And for instance, the over-under, the passing yardage for Flacco this game is 233 yards. So it is so much lower than what we're used to for Flacco. So, yeah, he could hit 300, but, like, I don't know if he's going to. It's just –
no, but I'll bet the over on 233. I'll bet the over. It's just volume.
Yep, agreed.
Running back, 7th best matchup for Ford. What's that? 9th worst matchup for Breece Hall. I don't love Jerome Ford here. I have Breece at 8, and that feels very high. I have Jerome Ford down at 32, and that feels a little low. I think Ford is a high-end 3, and I think Hall is a low-end 1, but I don't know. I don't really want anyone in this game. I get that there's guys you're going to have to play, but this one scares the shit out of me. This could be 7-6.
Yeah, it could be. With Ford, the interesting thing that sucks for him is with Flacco at QB, they have the highest neutral pass rate in the NFL. So they are absolutely just chucking the ball down, which kills the running backs because Ford was getting a lot of the work outside of the goal line work and, like short yardage stuff. Like that was what Ford was doing. He was getting passing down work. But realistically, for him to succeed in this game, he needs checkdowns. Like that's where he's going to thrive because they just don't run the ball enough. It's literally like the Joe Flacco show of this offense. And props to Stefanski, but it's killed Jerome Ford. So yeah, I have him at RB28 and Breece Hall at RB10. Like Breece Hall's too talented. You see what he can do. You just got to ride with Breece.
Yeah, I mean, Breece Hall by far, he's not going to do what he did last week, but just keep in mind also last week he got 16 targets. That's the crazy usage that we want to see for Breece Hall. But even over the last month and a half, 6, 9, 8, 9, 2 in a weird one, and then 16 targets. Like he's being utilized the way he needs to be utilized, given his skill set. Is he going to be the RB on the week? Probably not against Cleveland. But yeah, you're firing him up regardless. And you might go Kareem Hunt over Jerome Ford just because he's getting the goal line work. I mean, it's not a great play, but I guess it just speaks to not really wanting either of those guys.
I'll take neither for 200, please.
Yeah.
On to more bad matchups. Worst matchup for the Cleveland wide receivers. 3rd worst matchup for the Jets wide receivers. I think you're probably still going to have to play Cooper as a low end 2. And Wilson as a high-end 3, but this is another one where there's a couple of players on both teams where you're going to be forced to put them in your lineup, and I don't really want to do it. Aside from those two, I want nobody else in this passing game. Well, okay, in the wide receiver room, I should say. I'm going to start in Njoku, obviously.
Yeah, it's like that's a whole different ballgame. I'm with you. Like, it sucks with both of these wide receivers because the quarterback situation and the defenses they're going against, it's just really difficult. But, like, what you're getting out of Cooper. They can move him into the slot, which benefits him tremendously because you get outside of the read and you get outside of Sauce Gardner, and then you can kind of work around. So they can move Cooper around a little bit to kind of free him up. But overall, yeah, it's just him going to have the issue with the toughest defense against fancy points for wide receivers. And then Trevor Siemian, just the experience with Garrett Wilson. It's been the thing all year. He's just a high floor play. It's just what it is. So he's my wide receiver 21 this week, I think. It's not great, but you kind of just what you're getting if you're playing him this week. Yeah.
And you just wonder, like, with how crappy the Jets have been with Simeon starting now and how, the Browns have been looking and how they're capable enough to win this game with or without Amari, if he's actually going to suit up. That's still to be determined. He'll probably play, but will he be a decoy, right? This is one of those questions you don't really want to be asking yourself as you put together lineups for your championship week. So it's a really tricky situation. If he starts and he's on my team, I'm probably playing him, but you really need to hunt elsewhere for upside in your lineup if you're relying on Amari Cooper this week.
Yeah, I'm with Jeremy. If you could bench him if you have a good wide receiver core, like totally fine with that.
All right. As far as the tight ends go, bad matchup for Conklin. You're not playing him anyways. We finally have someone with a good matchup. David Njoku goes top 12. I have him as my tight end 7 on the week. Moving down to kickers, we've got fifth best matchup for Dustin Hopkins and the second worst matchup for Greg Zuerlein. I am starting Hopkins as my. Where the hell is he? I don't have Hopkins ranked right now because there's an injury tag. If he plays, he's going to be fired up, but I don't have him in right now. And like I said, I'm avoiding Greg Zuerlein. The DSTs are probably the most interesting part. Second best matchup for the Browns, sixth best for the Jets. I have the Browns at 1 and the Jets at 4. So needless to say, I like these DST.
Yeah. I was gonna say Sleeper has Patterson as the lowest kicker for Cleveland in this game. So
he picked them up from the Lions because they don't know as Hopkins, but you have to also keep in mind that Sleeper had Kaimi Fairbairn as the kicker for the Texans the entire time he was on IR, so maybe Sleeper doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. I think it just speaks to the uncertainty with that position this week. And like we had a couple guys injury tags, so it's just you got to pay attention to it.
For real. One note on David Njoku, man, he's a must start every week. I don't care what the matchup is, and this one's a good one. But he's been absolutely crushing it with volume. If Amari Cooper is out, he's going to skyrocket from his average 10 targets a game, which is insane for a tight end. And he's probably going to score multiple times. Njoku, I mean, squeeze him in your lineup. I don't care if you're starting Sam Laporta or Trey McBride. Like, get Njoku in your flex. Like, start him.
Play both. Yeah, I have him at tight end 3. Like, 100%. You play it. If you have one of these elite tight ends, you can play both of them. Like, you're talking about Laporta or McBride. Like, put them in the tight end and flex Njoku in this matchup. Like, you can roll that lineup out totally fine.
But it's amazing how many leagues I'm doing that in. Like, I've got Kittle and McBride in a league, and I'm starting both of them, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm starting both of them. All right.
Is what it is. Tight ends rule the year this year.
Who it's so much fun. I love it.
Tight ends are deep, and backup quarterbacks play every game. What world are we living in? Next up, fuck off. Damn it.
I feel like we're going to find a backup quarterback in every matchup, basically, is how I expect these games to go.
Jesse, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, right, Aaron? I think it was just the two of us, and we were going through, and it was like literally every matchup was backup quarterback versus backup quarterback.
What game was that I X'd off? Was that Bengals Chiefs?
Bengals. You just did. That was that game, yeah.
I went to X off my Cleveland game here, and I just seen the wrong color, and I X'd off the damn game we were just about to do. Well,
we don't have to talk about Buffalo, New England. So.
Bengals Chiefs next. We just did Jets Browns. Okay, so don't X off the Bengals and Chiefs again. All right, another backup quarterback. We're 3 for 4 here. We've got
Pat Mahomes,
I guess 2 backup quarterbacks according to Jeremy. We've got Nick Browning and Patrick Mahomes. Where's my chart? 5th worst matchup for Browning, 10th best for Mahomes. I have Mahomes still in the QB6 overall. Browning I have down at QB 19. Don't mind playing Mahomes. This has bust potential written all over it. Like, it's an easy matchup, but I read somewhere that he only has 2 games of more than 20 points since week 8. So it's truly scary. And Jake Browning, unless you're in Superflex, I hope you're not playing Jake Browning this week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the matchup against the Chiefs defense is so rough. Like, I don't know. You got to have a better option. Or if you're rolling Browning as your QB2, you're just praying and hoping it works out because it sounds awful. We saw Browning struggles last week in particular where after he came back the week before talking about, you can cut me, like, it's like, yeah, we kind of know who Jake Browning is. Mahomes, I think more it's just how many backup quarterbacks in the league and how lackluster the confidence is with quarterbacks. Once you get to like QB7 where I have Mahomes, it's just a lot of guys with question marks. So that's kind of where you put him there by default. I don't feel great about that ranking, but it's really hard to move him outside the top 10. Like, he's Patrick Mahomes. He does enough for you. But, yeah, if you want to move him lower that, I'm honestly totally fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has been moving Patrick Mahomes outside the top 10 since the season started. But it's not his fault, right? Like, no hate against Patrick Mahomes' game, but he's not getting the blocking. His receivers are dropping balls. Kelsey has fallen off the map since he's been swifted. It's ridiculous that, like, all of these things have come together to form this perfect storm to create like a mediocre Patrick Mahomes. He's only has 26 touchdown passes to 14 interceptions this year. 14 interceptions is his career high. 26 TDs ties his career low. So he'll obviously eclipse in the next 2 games, but he's going to struggle to hit 30 touchdown passes this year. And if we said that at the beginning of the year for Patrick Mahomes, I mean, that would have been blasphemy. So it's been rough out there. All of that said, the Chiefs can still turn into high gear once they hit the playoffs and win the whole thing. So it's, it's kind of irrelevant for reality football, but for fantasy, huge disappointment. But yeah, you got to play.
Yeah,
I am never having Jeremy on fantasy court again because he will just shit on that player for the entire season. Oh, that's point. Prove a point.
He's also right on it. He was 100% on it.
Running back. I know. I think I ruled in his favor, but running back. 14th best matchup for the Chiefs. I believe it's CEH and only CEH. 19th best matchup for the Bengals. It's also only Mixon. Mixon I have as RB20. CEH I have down at 31, but I feel like that's low for a guy who's going to have the entire workload. So I feel like both of these guys are low-end 2s, high-end 3s. What do you guys have?
Wait, are you assuming that Pacheco's out?
Yes.
Because really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's nothing serious, and I don't trust Wednesday practice reports, right? Like, I don't want to hear about a Wednesday practice report because unless they're playing Thursday night, because for the entire season, they've been sitting, resting veteran players. I get it. Pacheco had a nasty looking concussion, knee in the head without a helmet last week. I'm still holding out hope. But until I hear that he's not going, I'm not going to assume that he's out.
Team believes his shoulder may be potentially dislocated as well.
Oh, this is okay. Well,
that doesn't help.
Yeah, it's not a good week for Pacheco. And I think by concussions, you basically need to be cleared by Friday. So the fact he's missing practices and all the issues coming up, this is not looking good. But yeah, so for me, I have Mixon really high. I have him RB7. It's 100% volume play. There's only a few running backs in the NFL that are going to see volume like Joe Mixon this week. So I'm chasing the volume with him. And it's not a terrible matchup. Like, the Bengals, they give up points, then they get gashed on the running back. So this helps an inefficient running back like Joe Mixon because he can get yards and chunk plays in this matchup. So overall, I'm with that. I don't even want to know I have CH. He's 25, RB 25, and he's going to see the passing down work. Like I don't mind him at that ranking at all. If you need to flex a running back.
Yeah, agree. I mean, 2 weeks ago against New England, he was the RB9 overall. Saw the work. I mean, and New England's no slouch on defense. So hey, it is what it is.
All right. Wide receivers, 4th worst matchup for Jamar Chase and the 9th best matchup for, Jamar Chase, assuming it's Chase, and 9th best matchup for Rashee Rice. I actually don't think it's going to be Chase, but we'll see how the ranks play out here. I have my highest ranked guy, and this is lower than I would have expected. Where the hell do you have these guys? Mine are all over the place because I don't know. I don't know who's going to play in this one.
That's the hard part. Chase is dealing with a shoulder injury.
I have Higgins at 14, and I don't have Chase ranked. And for the life of me, I can't find Rashee Rice. Does he have an injury tag?
No, I have him at 10. I have
him at 9. I just didn't think he was
too high.
Yeah,
I was looking and I was like, "Mother of God, that's so high for Rashee Rice." Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of things working in his favor in this matchup, and particularly like Kelsey's kind of come back down to earth, so it's working for him. And he's better than that guy for sure. So I'm on board with Rashee Rice this week.
Oh yeah, you're playing Rashee. Hey, as much as I love this guy, I did say a couple months ago, trade him straight up for Rashee Rice.
Yeah, if you could do that, you'd be looking great right now.
Yeah, you probably couldn't have, but
Yeah, I tried to get him in that deal I did yesterday. It did not work out. The guy was like, "I'm not giving up Rashee Rice." I was like, "All right, fine, whatever. Let's make this happen." But yeah, he's just really good. He's by far their best passing down option now. I think he's actually I almost prefer him to Kelsey on a per play basis.
Oh yeah, and I mean the only thing to even remotely consider with Rice is that Cam Taylor-Britt is his window is open. He may come back this game, maybe not. Either way, you're playing Rice. I mean, it's just a matter of where you think his ceiling lies. The Chiefs probably won't need to be doing too much on offense. It's been the story of the season, right? Their defense can hold, especially against Jake Browning with no Jamar Chase. So even though you're playing Rice, even though he's getting probably at least 7 targets, and potentially a lot more. Is that going to translate? We'll see. But the good thing about Rice is they're manufacturing touches with him with short screens, and he looks great. So
yeah, that's what it is.
Higgins being covered by Snead, if there's no chase, scares the hell out of me.
Yeah. You know what I like about Higgins, though, is he's a jump ball, big body guy, right? Like, I don't really care about that. I mean, Snead can body some receivers as well, but Higgins is just massive, right? Was he like 6'4", 220, at least 230 maybe? He's huge. So he's almost the equivalent, and certainly not all around game, but at least in terms of the jump ball, he's like a Des Bryant, like contested catch type player, just goes up and rips it away. So I'm not so concerned about that matchup. But if Chase is in, obviously the volume may not go there, and that could be a concern.
Yeah, it works having Browning because Browning just chucks it. Like, you've seen Browning make some ridiculous throws, and he bailed him out on one of them where he came back to the ball and made that ridiculous play. So, yeah, it kind of works in his favor. Like, he's willing to just YOLO ball, say, hey, you're down there, chuck it and catch it. So, like, I actually don't mind it either. I'm with you. He's my wide receiver 27 this week. Like,
Moving on to the tight end. Second best matchup for Kelsey. Fourth worst matchup for Tanner Hudson. I have one as tight end 1, one as tight end 21. Do you want to guess which one's Kelsey? Okay, moving on. All right, kickers. We have 10th best matchup for Butker, worst matchup for McPherson. I have Butker as my 8 on the week, and McPherson down at where the fuck is he? Oh, 16. Down at 16. The DSTs. 16th best matchup for the Bengals, 18th for the Chiefs. I'm sure I have the Chiefs higher. I do. I have the Chiefs at 8. I have the Bengals way down at 28. I want nothing to do with them. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I really don't want to play the Bengals defense. I'm with you. Like, I really don't.
You can't.
The Chiefs defense is just a lot better. It's a better matchup and everything. Like, Mahomes' effect is still real, so it's maybe it's a little bit more mental block than it should be. But overall, like, I don't want to play defense going against Mahomes in playoffs, like for the championship. Like, it's just not something I want to do.
Yeah, agree. And since Nick Bolton has been back, the Chiefs defense just looks a lot better. So they're kind of back, right? Especially against Jake Browning. Like, just fire him up.
All right, moving on. I'd like to point out we're 23 minutes in and have done 2 games. So, yes, lovely. Next up,
rolling, baby.
More.
Oh, this will be short.
Yeah. We heard you got Broncos. Easton Stick, Jared Stidham.
Yeah.
Wow. Easton Stick is easily my higher quarterback. Words I never thought I would say, but he's 23. Stidham is at 29. I want no part of either quarterback here. Any objections?
I might have Stidham
Just
higher,
why would you play
29-30.
Yeah.
But no, not really.
Yeah, no. I don't even know where I have. I'm very curious where I have Stidham. Hold on. I need to look. But yeah, I want nothing to do with
it. Let's go.
Allen still out?
I think so.
I haven't heard if he's out officially, but it's just, we'll see. I'm going to double check.
Who cares?
I think he's out.
Yeah,
I do have Stidham above.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
It's rough.
Let's do that.
Running backs, 10th best matchup for Javonte, second best matchup for Eckler, and if there was ever a week for Eckler to crush, it would be this week. Having said that, I have little faith. I have Eckler at 15 overall, or RB 15. I have Javonte at 23. Both of them could and should have big games here in the finals. I would not feel lovely about starting either of them. What do you guys think?
I really don't want to play Javonte in this matchup. Like, everything's working out in his favor, but like, I just don't trust it. And it could backfire me because they're going to, Stidham, so they're maybe going to run the ball more and stuff like that. But overall, he's been extremely disappointing. And same thing with Eckler, but like, at least Eckler has the age and things that you kind of see. With Javonte, it's just he's coming back from the injury and he's just hasn't done much of anything. And he's seen McLaughlin. We've seen him kind of play a little bit of a role. The Chargers are trying to feature any one of these backups, and they both just suck. So realistically, the role is there for Eckler. So it's if I have Eckler, I'm playing him. He's definitely a floor play, but he's a few spots ahead. I think Javonte is 25 for me. Eckler's like 22. But yeah, I'm more willing to ride with Eckler than I am Javonte in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Eckler at least looked serviceable last week. He was getting enough of the work up to, I think it was 64% of snaps. So you like to see that with Eckler, and this matchup should be a no-brainer start. Like you said, he's a floor play. But RB, would you say 15, Aaron?
Yes.
About there. That sounds right. With the Broncos, Javonte scares the hell out of me. I much prefer not playing Jaleel McLaughlin, but in reality, the idea of Jaleel McLaughlin only because Sean Payton seems to much prefer Jaleel McLaughlin. He got 25% of snaps last week, which isn't great, but he turned that into an RB27 finish, ripped off 6 yards per rush, and converted 5 targets for 4 receptions, 30 yards. He just looked more explosive too than Williams. Like we've been talking about, Williams still coming off that injury. It's the year after. Right. So he's still working his way back physically to become 100%. And McLaughlin just looks like the more explosive guy right now.
We've already spent time on this game.
Yeah.
Moving on. Wide receivers, 23rd best matchup for whoever the Chargers put out there. And the 3rd best matchup for Cortland Sutton. So another one where you should be firing up Cortland Sutton. This should be a smash week. Don't know if I want to trust it. Having said that, my highest ranked in this is probably Sutton. All the way that. That's where the hell is Sutton?
He might be injured because I don't have him on my ranks at all. I need to double check.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe I don't have him because I'm having a hell of a time.
Concussion.
He did not practice
it's not Sutton. I was gonna say, how do I have Judy ranked higher? It's Judy ranked the highest at 37. Yeah. I don't want to. If Sutton's out on any receiver on either team.
Yeah, moving on.
No. If there's no Allen or no Sutton,
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Moving on. All right, tight ends. We have the best matchup for Gerald Everett, who Jeremy tries to trade to me every week. And then we have the 11th best matchup for Adam Troutman. I do not want either of these. I feel like Everett is probably in my streamer range. He is. He's my tight end 10. Troutman, who gives a shit? Kickers. 12th best matchup for Dicker the kicker. And 5th worst for Will Lutz. I don't mind streaming Dicker if I need a kicker. He's 14. Lutz, I don't know where the hell he is. He's way out there. Lutz is at 19. Want no part of that. The defenses, if you can call what either of these teams has defense. The 13th best matchup for the Chargers, 17th best matchup for the Broncos. I have the Broncos at 10 and the Chargers at 25. This game fucking sucks. Is there any? Okay, I'm looking back here. I want to play Eckler. I could be talked into playing Javonte. I don't want anyone else on this board right here for either team.
Play Everett.
Yeah, you can play Everett.
You're just going to try and trade him to me after the show. That's why you say that.
I mean, listen, he's been getting 8 targets over the last 3 weeks in every game. He just hasn't found the end zone, but 40 yards and 5 catches for a tight end in a PPR league is solid. It's just if he finds the end zone against a terrible Denver D here, especially guarding the tight end, it's going to work out for him. So
out of 71 leagues, I think I have 3 where I don't own either McBride, Kittle, or Laporta, and this guy's trying to trade me Everett. What do I go play Everett over those guys?
I will say if there's no Palmer or no Allen, it's literally nobody. I get it, Quentin Johnson, whatever, that's his name, but he'll see volume at least, so you can guarantee that.
We should have just skipped that game. That was a waste of 5 minutes of my life.
It was. There's no takeaways. Just play the defenses, baby.
We have 2 starting quarterbacks in Dolphins versus Ravens. Yes. Dolphins at Ravens. It is the 3rd worst matchup for Tua and the 17th best matchup for Lamar. So it figures we have 2 starting quarterbacks and they're 2 who get shitty matchups. Lamar is my 3 on the week. Tua is my 16.
I don't want to play 2 in this matchup. Baltimore, we saw what they did to San Francisco's offense. They absolutely wrecked them. They're going to do the same thing, and Tua struggles against good defenses. So I get it. Tua has the name. He's been good this year, but he's very matchup dependent. So ideally, I'm pivoting away from Tua. He's in that streamer range. If you don't have a better option, I get it. But you should have someone who you can at least start over Tua this week. And Lamar was Lamar. He's super high floor and he can hit. So it's just Lamar. You know what it is.
Yeah, I wish I could cite it, but I heard on some podcasts, maybe it was Matt Waldman or whoever, but Lamar Jackson shows up against teams with good offenses, regardless of their defenses. So if their offense, like Miami's can put up points against that Baltimore D, then Lamar is going to come back and firing, right, and take the game into his own hands. So I don't mind Lamar in this matchup.
Running backs, 6th worst matchup for the Dolphins and the 7th worst matchup for the Ravens. I want no part of the Ravens out of anything besides desperation. Raheem Mostert is my RB22. I feel like that's a little low, but I don't love the matchup. And then after him, I've got Achane at 30, Gus Edwards at 35. This isn't like you've got 3 or 4 options here as RB3s or flexes, but like Mostert's the only one I really want to play. I don't really want any of them. I think I'd have it Mostert, Achane, and then a mile to Edwards, but I don't even really feel that comfortable starting Achane. He hasn't looked the same since his injury.
Well, and Mostert's dealing with an injury. He's expected to play. Achane just missed practice yesterday. So it's not, the vibes are not good around all of this right now. But yeah, if Mostert's playing, you're going to.
I tried to make up these graphics and I had to sit there to try and remember who's hurt. There's more injured players than healthy players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's week 17. That's what it is. Like people just get destroyed over the course of the year. And Mostert's an older back. He's dealt with injuries his entire career where he's never gotten through a full season, right? So this is the best he's ever been. So you ride him, and if he plays, Achane's 31 for me, Mostert's 20, and yeah, I'll play them over any Baltimore running back. I just don't want to deal with the Baltimore running back unless you want Gus Edwards and you expect him to get in the goal line, score touchdown, which is
that's the only thing I was going to say is Gus has been back to his scoring ways, touchdown in each of his last 2 games. I would probably play him over Achane this week, but just expecting the floor. I think the question is who scores more fantasy points, Gus Edwards or Austin Eckler this week.
Eckler by a mile.
It's sad that's even a conversation.
Are you sure? Because I'm not.
I'm not sure. But yeah,
Gus has had more than him over the last 2 weeks. So
define. Am I sure?
Like the question about those two is either one getting double digits. Like that's the question we ask. Eckler double digits, maybe. Edwards, maybe. I don't. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
I was scrolling through Twitter looking for something, and I came across a graphic, and I said, "Oh, that's a goddamn good-looking thumbnail." Oh, it's the league winners. Oh, it's mine.
You're like weird.
That's a
weird how that works.
Thumbnail there. Oh, it's me. Thank you. I do good work. I think that's good.
Man.
I didn't write the article. I made it up for somebody else, and I forgot. I was like, "Oh, I didn't write this. I wasn't tagged," and I just came across it. I was like, "That's nice." Oh, it's me.
Everybody likes their own brand there.
Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, goodness.
Wide receiver, 16th best matchup for Zay Flowers, 22nd for, I almost said Taysom Hill. It's not. It's Tyreek Hill, assuming he plays. Who the hell knows with him with his health? I have Tyreek at 2. I have Waddle at
I think Waddle's hurt because he's on my rankings.
I was going to say, is Waddle hurt? Because I have Waddle out. Is everybody healthy?
Oh, God.
Or,
I think it is. Let me double check.
Anyways, and Zay, I've got Zay at 23. So, good God. These fucking injuries. I'm sick of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's going to be rough. There you go.
Yeah, it's Tyreek, and then, probably Flowers, maybe OBJ, Waddle if he plays, but it's, Tyreek and everyone else.
Yeah, Tyreek's my wide receiver 1 because of that. Like if there's ever no Tyreek or no Waddle, you fire the other one up like everywhere just because you expect insane volume. And I get it. Like you just can't cover Tyreek Hill. I don't care who's playing defense on him. He's impossible to guard. You put Sauce, it doesn't matter. So yeah, he's my wide receiver 1 this week. And Zay, he's down in the 30 range for me. I do like him more than my projections say. So I am higher on that ranking. Like we saw last week, he saw 12 targets. You had to go back to him. You trust him in that offense. So like you fire Zay up, like I'm totally fine with that. The other guys, no, I'm just not doing it.
Yep.
Tight ends, 19th best matchup for Likely, 24th best matchup for Smythe. I have Likely as tight end 11 and Smythe as 32. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Kickers, we have 3rd worst matchup for Justin Tucker, 17th best matchup for Jason Sanders. Tucker is my 2, Sanders is my 3. So both kickers are must starts this week. And the DSTs, I have 11th worst matchup for the Ravens, 6th worst matchup for the Dolphins. The Ravens are still playable. I have them as DST 9. The Dolphins I am avoiding at DST 20. What are your thoughts here, guys?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Like I Likely a little bit higher. Like I'm very much trusting what he's been doing the past few weeks. But overall, yeah, I'm with you on that. Like you must start the kickers. Defense is iffy.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about the Miami defense is they've been getting to the quarterback lately. Whether it's because they're able to cover on the back end in the secondary or Chubb just coming alive or a combination of the guys they put in there. So I don't hate starting them, but yeah, you don't really want to play any defense against them.
Yeah, their defense is really good. Ramsey's great, but the problem is like Ramsey gets neutralized by Tyreek Hill. Like Ramsey can't keep up with Tyreek Hill, and that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. But he's been like he absolutely shut down like every wide receiver he's gone against. So I'm very curious to watch this matchup.
Yeah, it'll be good.
These are
CEH is not scheduled to practice today.
Ooh, lovely. So they don't have a running back.
So they're going to have to add
Mahomes is
someone.
going to run it himself.
Pacheco as well, not scheduled.
So Tyreek's
They
getting
got-
no. Tyreek's not even on that team anymore.
They got the rookie on the practice squad. What's his name? We were hyping him up in the preseason. I cannot remember. It's blanking. But there's a rookie that they can bring up and he could play.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is.
They could put Kadarius Toney in the backfield, except he's not scheduled to practice today either. So
Yeah.
Mr.
We're going
Glass,
to rely on Kadarius Toney to be the healthy guy in the lineup. That's for sure,
Good
man.
grief.
That's
Sky
bothering
Moore.
me. Who's the running back? I can't
Oh.
remember now. That's bothering the shit out of me because I know
The rookie? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's not Pierce. It's something. I'm gonna look it up. This is bothering crap out of me. Sorry. Okay.
I'm already looking it up.
Let's move on.
No, we're not moving on. We're talking about this lie.
CJ Beathard. You want to talk about CJ Beathard?
Pirine is next on their depth chart on ESPN.
not even-
LaMarcus.
Lamichael,
they might
yeah,
have
it's
cut
not him.
LaMichael. That's right.
It's not him.
Sure.
Sheesh.
It's somebody else. I can't
I
remember
know
now.
it's somebody else, but-
We'll figure it out later.
oh no, I'm not moving on from this. You just sit here and enjoy the day.
Generic Prince. There it is. Generic Prince.
Generic Prince. He's
Yeah,
actually
and
not
he-
half bad.
He played this year, didn't he? In a
Yes.
meaningful game?
I don't know.
He's worth an ad. I wouldn't trust him because I mean he's never played, but still.
Oh, he's never played. Yeah.
Moving on to another battle. Moving on to another battle of backup quarterbacks. We have Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. It is the, if I can scroll to the right page, it is the best match, our third best matchup for Bryce Young. It is the second worst matchup for who I have as CJ Beathard. I don't want either of these. Bryce Young is my 26. Beathard is 33. Ugh, that's all I have to say. What do you guys think?
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it's rough.
You can't do it, but Bryce Young looks so good. Easily his best game of the year last week.
Mhm.
They let him throw it 36 times. He ended up as the QB9. He was throwing some darts all over the field. DJ Chark came alive. It was like what we kind of expected to see out of Bryce Young's first season, but you can't trust that he can replicate that, even in this awesome matchup against.
I'll tell you what, if you
Jacksonville.
start Bryce Young in your championship match, you should just be awarded the trophy for having the biggest ball ever. It's all yours, man. I don't even care if he does nothing. You should just get 30 points out of him, regardless, for having the stones to do it.
Yeah, a lot of Packers guys I know said it's the Joe Barry defense and how just bad it is right now. Like they said, any quarterback can dice them up, and that's true. So I'm curious to see Bryce Young. If he looks a lot better in this game, I'll have a lot more confidence moving forward. Obviously, I think he's a buy low because I think he's a good quarterback and all that stuff. But in the moment, it's really hard to trust him. He's like my QB 29, and I'm not even going to do the Beathard experience. Just not doing that.
Yeah, but just Jacksonville, Tampa to end the season for Bryce. So it could be like just a really nice couple of games there and get some momentum in the next season. We'll see.
Running backs, fourth best matchup for Travis Etienne, 17th best for the Chubbard. Etienne is my 4 on the week. Chubbard down at 28. I want nobody else. How about you guys?
It's pretty low on Hubbard, man.
Yeah, he's my 15. I'm getting worried about like Etienne. Like he's been so inefficient, and it's not his fault. The offense line sucked. I heard it's basically like the yards before contact is like playing the Browns defense every week. Their offense line does nothing for him. So it's getting really difficult with Etienne. Like he's been volume play, but you've seen the last 2 weeks. He hasn't hit double digits. Like honestly, I would not be shocked if Chuba Hubbard outscored Etienne this week. Like that would not surprise me. And like that speaks to how good Hubbard's been in that offense, and they've kind of shifted things around. I obviously have Etienne above him in my ranks, but like realistically, like I think they're a lot closer than the rankings tell us. Actually, no, I don't. I actually have Hubbard 2 spots above Etienne. So yeah, I definitely speak that. Okay.
I like Hubbard just for the volume, right? Like he's looked good, but his volume is still there. Even when they had to throw the ball all over the yard last week because Jordan Love was balling out of his mind with no weapons. Hubbard still, ran it 16 times, got in the end zone. So, the volume is going to be there for him regardless of game script. So, yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be close between those two.
Yeah. Like, if you look past the bye week, he's only gone over the double digits 3 times, Etienne. Like, it's rough. And those 2 of those games are touchdowns. So, like, it's not good right now.
Oh, wide receivers. Eighth best matchup for the Panthers and the fifth worst matchup for the Jags. I don't want to say who's going to be my highest here.
You got it, man.
DJ Chark, baby.
Adam Thielen at 30. I have DJ. I skipped him. He's at 24. Fuck off.
Who's at 24?
I don't know. Some guy I've never heard.
For the people. Say the name for the people.
Calvin Ridley is at 24. Fuck off. You made me suffer. Second deck. So I've got a low end 2 and a low end 3, but I don't really. I guess I'll play Ridley, but I've got a bunch of teams with Thielen, and I haven't played Thielen in like a month. So
me either. Like, I might play him this week. I don't really trust Jacksonville's defense at the moment, but overall, yeah, it's not great. And you get Beathard thrown into Ridley. It's already been a struggle for Ridley this season connecting with Lawrence. It's only going to get worse with Beathard. He's not a better quarterback. So like these decisions and routes and everything, they're going to miss. It's a volume play. Like that's what it is. You just got to trust in the talent.
Yeah. I mean but that's what it is, right? It's like the only thing that is propping Ridley up in this game is the volume. The problem could be Evan Ingram and ETN with the checkdowns, and then this being a low scoring game. So that's definitely possible. But in many cases, like Aaron mentioned, he's a back end wide receiver too. You can trust some level of volume if you have to rely on him for sure. On the other end, like Chark, Thielen, if you got to throw darts, why not?
Yeah, we saw it.
Fourth best matchup for the Panthers at tight end. 23rd best matchup for the Jags. Ingram is my 5. Tommy Tremble or whoever the hell they're playing this week. I don't have a Panthers tight end rank. So
no.
Hurst is IR, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Thankfully. They made the smart decision with that, thankfully. Yes, that was scary. Yeah.
Brandon McManus, it has the 6th worst matchup, 9th worst matchup for Eddie Pinheiro. I don't imagine either of these are anywhere near starting range for me. Pinheiro is 22, McManus is 19. So, yeah, you are avoiding both. The DSTs are interesting. 4th best matchup for Jacksonville, 10th best for the Panthers. They're both probably streamable. Jacksonville at 15, Carolina at 29, but that feels low. I don't know if I want to stream them, but they're definitely higher than that. Having said that, I much prefer Jacksonville. They're at 15, but I feel like I want to move them higher into 12, 11. I'm going to move them to 11. What do you guys got?
Yeah, they're not at home, but I kind of prefer the Panthers defense in this matchup just because of CJ Beathard. They're totally decimated in the wide receiver room. So to me, I want that Panthers D just trying to put something together over the Jacksonville D. But do I want to start either of these guys? No.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Like that's the way their defense sets up. Like it's a good defense and it tells you what they want you to do, and teams will try to take advantage of that. So we'll see if they really want to pass a lot with Jacksonville and Beathard. I doubt they do. I think they're going to try to run the ball, establish run a lot, and it will probably backfire against them. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Why didn't I save that Chiefs game? I just looked at the 3 games we have left. Stunk.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that one's bad now too. There's no running back in that game, so that one's terrible.
Mahomes is going to do it himself. It's the Donald Driver old video. The team on the back.
But except he's got the Tom Brady stank face on the whole time. I got to change my background.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Patriots at Bills. We have.
I'll take solace in this.
Zappy and Josh Allen. Josh Allen gets the 24th best matchup, 26th best for Zappy. Allen at 4, Zappy at 29. Any questions?
No. I saw the last couple of weeks, I think since their bye or what it is, like Allen struggled. Like he has not been the same level. Obviously, he's producing fantasy points, and I can't take it seriously with Mahomes. But like he's definitely not the same quarterback he was. He has struggled. He's a god at fantasy points. That's what he does. So like even when he doesn't play well, he gives you fantasy points. But overall, his play has regressed this year. So I'm curious to see what happens moving forward in the playoffs because he's Josh Allen. You got to trust him. But overall, against this New England defense, I do worry. There's like he's turned it over in 15 straight games. I would not be shocked to see him turn it over in this game again as well.
It's who are we talking about turning over? Allen or Zappy? It's got to be Zappy.
Well, I mean both, honestly. But like Allen's the only guy that I really care about. The two.
Oh yeah, no, you can't play Zappy at all. But is New England going to try to win this game? Maybe. Like, what are we doing here? Backup quarterback, backup running back, 4 wins on the season, no wide receiver to speak of. Hunter Henry's injured. Gesicki's catching touchdowns last week. Like, it's just stupid. So yeah, sit Zappy, and hopefully they draft a quarterback with a high draft pick next year. That's the only thing we got going for.
You said no quarterback, no running back, no wide receiver, no tight end. To be fair, that's how they went into the season. This isn't injuries. This is their own fault. They haven't lost anyone. I mean, Ramondre's out.
Ramondre, yeah.
When your biggest loss is Ramondre Stevenson, you got nobody to blame but yourself.
Hey, don't be talking about Ramondre Stevenson like that. My man is Dudley.
My boy Zeke is getting the target king. 11 targets last week. Oh, don't sleep on the old man.
Yeah, he's got Ramondre level work coming.
Yeah, exactly right.
We got into 15th and 16th best matchup for the running backs. James Cook is my 9.
Yep.
Zeke is going to be my 18. What do you guys think here?
Yeah, I have Cook right there, and I have Elliott on 13, so precipice of RB1. Like, he's getting the volume, you trust it. Buffalo's defense can be treacherous at times, and sometimes they allow points to the running back. So it's really hit or miss with Buffalo's defense. But overall, I'm trusting the volume play of both these guys. Cook just shat the bed last week, and he killed a lot of my teams. But I'm going back to him because they've really made him a focal point of that offense. So yeah, James Cook and Zeke, I'm fired both up.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said, except it's just so hard. You're going to do it anyway, but it's so hard to trust James Cook after what happened last week. Leonard Fournette in there, his role is likely to grow just as they ramp up for the playoffs. Just because they need a second body in there, and Latavius Murray is not playing, right? So Fournette for me is the biggest concern to Cook's workload, and they were giving him the ball on the goal line, which you just hate to see for James Cook.
So you didn't really agree with everything he said then. It was kind of like, I agree with everything you said except fuck you.
No, about Zeke and everything with Cook, like, you're firing Cook up. You got to play him. But,
I agree with everything you say, and then goes on to list 12 things he disagrees with.
Well, Leonard Fournette is the biggest problem, right? Like, you just what do you do? What do you do? You can't play Fournette, but you can't confidently expect Cook to be an RB1, and that's the biggest issue. You still got to play him, but
he basically just did what Latavius Murray was doing earlier. He just took that role and just siphoned it away. He said, "Hey, guess what? I'm better than you, so see you later." So yeah, like, I'm with you. It just limits him a little bit.
Yeah, except they didn't trust Latavius, and they're going to have to trust Fournette, right? They're going to have to grow his role. So hopefully that starts next week and not this week.
I like how Sleeper doesn't even have Fournette listed.
I know. I tried looking for him to see what the snaps
is he injured? I was like, nope. Okay, all right, whatever.
I did that once. It was last year when there was rumors that Drew Brees on his podcast said something about potentially returning. And I looked and I wanted to add him in my dynasty league where there's 900 bench spots, and I wanted to add him, and they didn't have it. So I DM'd the account on Sleeper to add him, and he was added back like an hour later. And I was like, oops, still perfect.
Yeah.
He didn't end up coming back on the Sleeper.
Fournette, 18% snaps, 5 carries. So
yep. Those short already carries, yep.
Wide receivers, 13th best matchup for the Bills, 24th best matchup for the Patriots. Stephon Diggs is the lowest I've had him in probably 3 years. He is wide receiver 13 and scary as shit. My opponent in my work league has his lineup this week is the scariest thing I've ever seen. It's got like 5 wide receivers that should be legit bona fide Hall of Famers and should absolutely, and Mahomes at the quarterback. This lineup could put up 300 points this week, or they could keep playing the way they've been playing and put up 50 points this week.
I got a team like that.
The greatest thing I've ever seen, where it's like, on paper, these guys should annihilate me, but they're all bad matchups. They're all struggling. It's like a name on paper, but so, like I said, I've got Diggs at his lowest of the season, 13. Demario Douglas is going to be like 30, 39. Gabe Davis is right after him at 40. 40. This whole thing's ugly.
Like, I don't expect them to have to pass a lot. So this also is like that on top of the issues with Diggs. Like, this is what worries me about Diggs. Since the bye week, he has not been a focal point of that offense. He's still seeing some targets, but it just has not been good the way they're using him. So, yeah, like last week was my first week where I had the red flags kind of popping up. This week, I'm definitely terrified. So I don't think he's a must start. You are playing him obviously because he's Stephon Diggs and he could bull up. So, he could put up 30 points for you. But realistically, like I have him in that wide receiver 2 range, and I do have worries about him, especially in this matchup. Like, how many times are they going to need to pass? Like, they could get up early and they can just kind of just take it easy, like they did against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, like that could be in the range of outcomes.
Yeah, it could be a Leonard Fournette game.
Second half, baby. Uncle Lenny, let's go.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, Diggs, you're concerned, but like you said, you got to start him pop in a pinch. Yep. Otherwise, no.
Yep.
Tight end, second worst matchup for the Bills, seventh worst matchup for the Patriots. I don't want any part of this. Kincaid has been slowly dropping down my rankings because, sadly, Dawson Knox. He is 14 for me right now. I have Henry at, I don't know, down there, 27 or something. I don't really want any part of these guys. The kickers, 21st best matchup for Chad Ryland, 14th best for Bass. Bass I'm playing as my 7. Ryland is second last on my list, so avoid him. The DSTs, Bills, 5th best matchup. Patriots, 3rd worst matchup. The Bills are my DST 3. The Patriots are lower somewhere. I don't know where the Patriots are. I can't read. 19, there we go. So if you're going to start anyone, start Bills, avoid Patriots. I think that's kind of the theme of the game here in general. How about you guys?
Yeah, just don't play Kincaid. His role's been awful the last 3 weeks. Like, find someone else. Go get Johnny Smith. I'd even do Cade Otton. Like, I'd played so many players over Kincaid this week. You can't trust him. Like, it's just not used.
Yeah. Just one note on the Bills D, like Bailey Zappi is not turning the ball over much. So it's just something to consider. I don't think they're a smash. They still run the ball a ton. He checks down a ton. So I don't think the Bills are a lock. Denver should have been a lock against them last week and crap the bed on defense. So.
Agreed. All right. 2 games left, and I mercifully have to pick one of them. Can we just pick either? Ugh.
Yeah, let's just run through it.
Raiders, Colts.
Oh, yes. Lovely.
Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. So we've got Farva versus matchup-wise, we have for Gardner Minshew, the 22nd best matchup, 20th best for Aiden O'Connell. Minshew I have at 20, and Rod Favre at 24. I don't really want to play either of them. How about you?
Yeah, these guys are both coming off really, really bad performances for you. So if you started them, you're probably eliminated, give or take. Particularly O'Connell put up 2 points, but overall,
he outscored Sam Howell by 3 points last night.
I mean, that is quite impressive to do. But yeah, I'm not playing O'Connell this week. Like even in Superflex leagues, I prefer other options. He's like my 26. You can go back to Minshew. He's the roller coaster we've talked about every week. You know, it's a wide range of variance with him. He could have a good game or he could be terrible for you. You just kind of have to accept it if you're going to play him. So if you want to do it, he's my QB 20. I'm fine rolling the dice with him again against the Raiders, who have been a lot better. So it is a more treacherous matchup than it has been. But overall, there is a certain breaking point where it's like, all right, I'm playing Minshew.
Yeah, honestly, with Minshew, it's just, is Michael Pittman playing? That's really the question I'm asking myself. If he's playing, I'm firing him up. If I have to, Pittman limited, so maybe he goes this week. But you're not excited about it. Yeah, Aiden O'Connell, no chance.
Oh, God. This is painful. 3rd best matchup for Josh Jacobs. It is the 11th best matchup for Jonathan Taylor. Sorry, did you say something?
Yeah, for who? Josh Jacobs. Is he even playing? What's happening?
He hasn't practiced yet, so who the F knows? I don't know.
I was assuming he was back, but you could be right. He's quite
still
held out of practice. So Zamir, whatever. I'm projecting with the starter because if the backup's playing, fuck him, you're not playing him anyway. So
that role's been really good for whichever running back it is. Like it's been if you had Jacobs in this role, he would be smashing the hell out of it.
Oh yeah,
but you're still getting good play from Zamir White. So it's usable. It's just it sucks.
I have Taylor at 12. I have Jacobs unranked. I have Zamir White. I don't know.
18.
He's probably I'm at 30.
36
seems low. Well, if Jacobs is out, right?
That's the thing. It's kind of like a TBD. So
I have Jacobs listed as questionable and haven't adjusted yet. So that's why I have Jacobs. I have them both in hedging their bets.
Yeah, I have JT at 4, but I need to move him down. That's too high for my confidence factor with him. Like the projections love him this week, but like I don't love the matchup necessarily. So I'm probably gonna move him down to like RB 8 or 9 in that range.
Yeah,
like right alongside
Raiders defense has been much better since whatever the name of that coach is. As a Patriots fan, just trying to forget Josh McDaniel's name. Hopefully he doesn't come back with the team next year. Good God. Yeah, it's just the defense has been a bit better, so you maybe slightly downgrade the Colts options.
They should get Matt Patricia back.
Oh my gosh, they got him calling plays in Philadelphia now.
Look, it's going to be Josh McDaniels head coach of the Pats next year. Good Lord.
I love how these guys keep fail upwards. It's so glorious.
21st best matchup for the Colts. 26th best matchup for the Raiders at wide receiver. Not great. Pittman, I think I have listed as out. Yeah, I have him lowered because he's borderline. I have Devontae Adams at 14. Pittman is going to be a wide receiver 2 for me. I have no idea if he's going to play. I have him listed as no because he's down at 46 right now with a concussion. If he doesn't play, I guess you can desperation play Josh Downs, but I want Devontae Adams in here, and even him. Devontae Adams is one of the guys in my opponent's lineup where he could have a decent week or could be an absolute landmine. I want Pittman if he plays. Other than that, I guess you got to play Devontae. And
it sucks.
Ugly.
He's my wide receiver 25, Devontae, and I'm so furious at that ranking, but that's just what it is. I have Pittman at 15, and I'll probably bump him if he plays a little bit. But overall, the issue both these wide receivers are facing. At least Pittman's getting the surefire volume. Adams is not. It's also inefficient volume too. So it's like the double effect on him. So yeah, it is what it is. So if you have him, you kind of just have to ride the roller coaster. Outside of that, it's like Jacoby's at 40 and Josh Downs is at 50. But yeah, I'm not really interested in any other wide receiver.
Yeah, if the Colts are smart, they're going to just copy the game plan from the Chiefs last week. They're probably going to try and bracket him. The one thing that Adams has in his favor is Julian Blackmon, Colts safety, is out. He was just IR'd. So Nick Cross is coming in there as a young guy. He can do the job. He's been decent enough, but it's just something to consider. Maybe the pieces aren't nearly as good in the Colts secondary to cover Adams the way the Chiefs did. So you start him in hope.
They should copy the Chiefs' entire game plan. It really worked out well for them.
We'll be good.
Not on offense. We don't copy the offensive game plan of the Chiefs.
Yeah. All right. 10th best matchup for Michael Mayer, 18th for Kylan Granson. I don't have either of them as startable. Mayer is Mayer hurt?
Might be out. Yeah. Hurt.
Possibly
he may be out already, I think. Let me check.
Let's see. I missed practice yesterday.
Mayer's, I have him listed as out. He's not officially out, but I have him as trending. So don't start either.
Austin Hooper, the championship.
Can anybody play? Is there anybody healthy on any team?
Nobody wants to play.
No.
Nobody wants to play.
No, it's week 17. Everybody's just destroyed with injuries.
Third best matchup for Daniel Carlson. 10th worst for Matt Gay. Matt Gay is my 6th on the week. Daniel Carlson is 20th. He's been brutal.
Yeah.
DSTs are interesting. 15th best matchup for the Raiders. 11th best for the Colts. I have the Colts at 14, and I have the Raiders at 24. That's going to move up. The Raiders, I think, have been a decent stream. Every once in a while, these teams get on this roll of touchdowns, and they can just, keep them going. So I don't mind the Raiders as a stream. I don't mind the Colts as a stream. Neither of them are top 12 for me, though. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's because it's Minshew. You get that with a defense that's been a lot better at opportunistic. This is the perfect example of playing them against a quarterback like Minshew because they can take advantage of the turnovers he will present to a defense. So, I'm honestly fine streaming them in this matchup. I get it. It seems gross on paper, but overall, you can roll with it.
But here's what I consider with the Raiders defense last 3 weeks. After the bye, they allowed 3 points to Minnesota, 21 points to the Chargers, and 14 points to the Chiefs. So they're stymieing the opposing offenses when they're good. Indy's middle of the road. So I'll fire them up.
Last game, mercifully. I can't remember a week of ever just so many fucking injuries in every game. It's like, oh, no, that guy's not ranked because he's not playing. Everybody's questionable. All right, close it out. Titans at Texans. Ryan Tannehill and CJ Stroud.
Is it Stroud?
We think.
I think it is. We think it is. Our Lord and Savior is back.
We hope.
Our Lord and Savior. Yes, we're fired up Texans. We're fired up Texans.
12th worst matchup for Stroud. Ninth best matchup for Tannehill, I don't have Stroud ranked yet because I haven't updated it since I as of yesterday. I do have him ranked. Sorry, I have updated. He is 8 on the week. My bad.
Yeah.
And Tannehill is.
You can't start him. You can't start him this week.
He's not in my top 24. He's 34. 34. Yeah. There we go.
Just don't do it. There's no trust there. You can't do it. You're playing Stroud. It's very unlikely you have a better option, even in single quarterback leagues. You're going to play Stroud and just hope that his weapons stay healthy for the whole game.
So Will Levis was a full participant in practice, so he might be playing this week. So I have Will Levis in my projections as like the QB 21. So if he's back, I feel much better about this. Yeah, it's gross either way, but I feel better about him than Tannehill. Like Tannehill's cooked. And yeah, if Stroud's playing, which it looks like he is, like he's my QB 10. I'm firing him up everywhere. I'm playing all the wide receivers, and I'm riding Texans this week.
Yeah, I'm sitting Levis and Tannehill this week.
Yeah, 100%.
18th best matchup for Derrick Henry, 20th best for Singletary. I'm interested to see the rankings here. 20th for Derrick Henry over RB20 for Henry, 26 for Singletary. The rest of them, Spears I've got at 37. Where's Pierce? He down there, 54 for Pierce. So
yeah,
I think we have 2 guys you can start as probably RB2s-ish, and then good luck.
Yeah, I mean, you could do Spears in a pinch. What worries me about Henry in this matchup is if they get behind with Stroud in that offense, like they could be trailing throughout the game. And that's the worst game trick for Henry possible. And then that's where Spears comes in. So he's RB14, but like I don't feel confident in that ranking. I have Singletary at RB20 just because he's going to see the passing network. He's going to see everything you want in that offense, and he's been really good. And then it's Spears at 29.
I think in championship week, you got to roll with Henry. He was terrible against Houston 2 weeks ago. 16 carries for 9 yards. He was somehow involved in the passing game, but 4 catches for 1 yard. Like it was just as bad as it could be for Henry against Houston. He's got to be better than that. So I'm just going to roll with him, and I'll roll with him over Singletary this week.
He starts with, I think you have to roll with Henry in the championship, and then list 4 reasons why he absolutely hates the way Henry's been playing. What part of that was to inspire confidence in starting Derrick Henry?
He's Derrick Henry, man. It's December, bro. It's December and it's Derrick Henry.
December 2 weeks ago.
Look, are you starting Derrick? Are you starting Devin Singletary over him?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It's a question. Like I think you could if you want to, but like I have Henry.
I'll go.
They're both RB2s for me, but
sure.
All right. Wide receiver, 7th best matchup for the Texans, 18th best matchup for the Titans. I'm not even going to project who's healthy in this. I have D-Hop at 20 only because I don't know who's playing for the Texans and who's not. I have Noah Brown at 34. I would imagine that means I still have Nico listed as unlikely to play. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I have Nico at 30. Yeah. I think if they both play, I'm playing both Nico Collins and Noah Brown. Like I'm firing both those guys up. I'm going to raise them in projections. Right now it's 30 and 36, and it's just because of the injury situation. We don't know everything. I'll raise them up with both in the 20s. Nico will probably be a little bit higher.
No. I have Nico at 18. I do have him listed as in.
Yeah.
So.
Where do you have D-Hop?
He's 29. It's just volume play. It's not great. Yeah. It's not great. I don't love it.
I'm avoiding him if I can, but I have him at 20.
Well, yeah, he's also dealing with the injury and rest, and it sucks.
I would probably go Nico and Noah over D-Hop this week.
Yeah, I think I will if Stroud's healthy and they're all healthy. Yeah.
If Stroud plays, yes.
Correct.
Yeah, 100%.
Tight end, 6th best matchup for the suddenly relevant Chigo Okonkwo. Worst matchup for Dalton Schultz. I don't think I have either of them. Oh, I do. I have Schultz at 12. Chig is 14. I guess they're not terrible streamers. I don't have much faith in either of them. Dalton Schultz seems to be so all over the place. Kicker, 2nd best matchup for Fairbairn. 9th best matchup for Folk. Kaimi is my 9 on the week. Folk is 27, so I'm not touching him. The DSTs both suck, but 8th best matchup for the Texans. 23rd best matchup for the Titans. I don't think I have either in my plane. Nope. 16 for Houston, Tennessee all the way down at 27. I guess Houston's not the worst streamer. The tight ends, kickers, and defenses is kind of the land of, I guess you can stream them if you have to, but I'm not looking to stream any of them. What are your thoughts?
If we get Stroud, I'm playing Schultz. Like, that's my whole caveat with that situation. If we don't, then I'm probably not playing him. But overall, the way it breaks down is I'm just playing Texans of all these guys. Like, I'm going Texans. Like, I trust them more than I do the Tennessee team.
Yep. Only thing to consider is that the Titans defense has been getting home. They're putting pressure on the quarterback weekly. Stroud has been great at kind of avoiding that. We'll see how he is if they fire him up post-injury here.
All right. Mercifully, that is a wrap. Check back with us tomorrow for the NFC home games. Hopefully, it will be less painful. There are way too many injuries. Good luck tonight with your Thursday night football players if you are starting any Jets or Browns. If you are, go with God.
Brees and Njoku. That's it, baby.